Hi boys and girls, welcome back to Mrs. Bojanowski's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give your parents a quick overview of some of the terms that we use in Fundations, so that way when you're talking to your parents about, hey, that's a glued sound, or hey, there's a digraph, I need to mark that up, they know what you're talking about. So one of the things we talk about in our first grade Fundations is marking up our words. And what your students should be doing is underlining the digraphs, which are SH, TH, CH, WH, and CK. And CK, remember boys and girls, always comes at the end of a word. And what we do is we underline it with one line because it's two letters, but they make one sound. It's a brand new sound. SH does not say s, it says sh. So that is one way we mark up our words. Another way we mark up our words, and you might hear your child say, hey, that's a glued sound. And what we do with our glued sounds, or they're also called welded sounds, is we put a box around them. And here are some examples of the first grade welded sounds that we use. A-L-L, ball, ah, A-M, ham, am, A-N, fan, an. And we also have A-N-G, I-N-G, O-N-G, U-N-G, along with A-N-K, I-N-K, O-N-K, and U-N-K. These are all glued sounds that you will see a lot in first grade writing, as well as first grade reading. And so not only using these welded or glued sounds in writing, if your child is reading a story and you happen to see I-N-K in a book, instead of them saying n, k, you can say, hey, that's a glued sound, remember? Pink, ink. So these are all glued or welded sounds that will help your children read and write. Another way that we mark up our words is by putting a star above our bonus letters, and we call that the Floss Rule. And boys and girls, you might have to explain to your parents what the Floss Rule is. It's not this dance, okay? What it is the letter L, F, and S are always doubled when they are followed by a short vowel, and they appear at the end of a word. So you'll notice in ball, short vowel, two L's. Puff, short vowel, two F's. And so we always put a star above the second letter to indicate that's a bonus letter. And I've told my students, if you don't know how to make a star, you can just make a plus and an X. That works just fine. Another way to mark up our words is underlining the base word and circling the suffix. And the suffix that we're focused on right now is suffix S. And remember, boys and girls, suffix S can either mean more than one or an action. For example, bugs. Maya might say, hey mom, I found 5 bugs out in the yard. Or Zaylee might say, mom, Maya always bugs me. So that can mean more than one, like Maya found 4 bugs, or when Maya bugs Zaylee, that's an action. One of the newest ways we've learned to mark up words is a closed syllable. And what a closed syllable is when it's a one-syllable word and we have a short vowel sound like a in cat, the T closes in that A to make it a short vowel sound. It also doesn't have to necessarily be just one letter after the short vowel sound, like the word elf. The L and the F close in that E to make it a short sounding E. Eh. We also have some vowel teams that we have been working on in first grade. We have AI that says A like bait, AY play A. We have a couple of vowel teams that involve the E that make the long E sound, like EE Jeep, EA eat, and EY key. OI and OY both say oi. And my students know a song that goes along with that. Have them tell you what that song is. Another vowel team that we have is OA, boat, OE as in toe, and OW is a little tricky because it can either say O as in snow or ow like plow. So sometimes when we see OW in a word and we're not sure if it says O or ow, students, remember, try it both ways and see which one sounds best. We have two more that we've learned so far in first grade, and it's OU, and OU can say ow like trout, or oo as in soup. OO can say oo as in school, or as in book. So moms and dads, aunts and uncles, grandma and grandpa, these are some of the terms that your children might be using when we're talking about fundations and ways to mark their words. You might hear welded sounds, glued sounds. And one other that I did miss is kind of similar to a digraph, is just a blend. And instead of one line under the digraph, we underline each individual sound in a blend. And the way I explain it to students is a blend is kind of like putting strawberries and bananas in a blender. When you put strawberries and bananas in a blender and make a smoothie, you still taste the strawberries and you still taste the bananas. So they're still making their own sound, as in flash. What happens in a digraph, if you put in strawberries and bananas, you end up with a blueberry smoothie. So blends are two individual sounds that still make their own sound. So these are some of the concepts that we use in Fundations, and hopefully this will be more helpful as we get into further lessons. Thank you, have a great day, and I miss you all, my students.